You guys got candy every meeting. Okay. Thanks. It's good for.
Are you ready?
Diabetic. In case I get low.
All right. In accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, adequate notification of this meeting has been provided by advertising in the record and posting notice in the Board of Education Administration Building and filing notice with the city clerk. I hereby call to order the regular public meeting Monday, November 21st, 2022 in the high school auditorium at 6:31 p.m. Ms. Singh, will you do a roll call, please?
Mr. Bendezu is absent. Mr. Carroll,
Present.
Mr. Coleman,
Present.
Mr. Goodman,
Present.
Ms. Maury,
Present.
Mr. Oates,
Present.
Mr. Paola is absent. Mr. Rodriguez, absent also. Ms. Somerville,
Present.
Mr. James Vickery.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Let's stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's remain standing for a moment of silence, please. You may be seated. Thank you. Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education determines it necessary to meet in executive session on Monday, November 21st, 2022 to discuss legal, personnel, student-related matters, HIV reports, negotiations, and other confidential matters, and be it further resolved that these matters will be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists. Can I have a motion to go into executive session, please?
Make a motion.
Mr. Oates, thank you. A second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Carroll, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it is
6:32.
6:33. We shall return. All right, welcome. Ms. Singh, if you'll do a roll call so we can get started.
Yes, Mr. Bendezu is absent. Mr. Carroll,
Present.
Mr. Coleman,
Present.
Mr. Goodman,
Present.
Ms. Maury,
Present.
Mr. Oates,
Present.
Mr. Powell is absent. Mr. Rodriguez is absent. Ms. Somerville,
Present.
Mr. James Vickery.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right. Thank you. And so we will move to our Sustainable New Jersey Schools. Mr. Sanchez?
Good evening, everyone. We have a special presentation today. It's for Hiller School. If the principal, Dr. Judy Soto and Anna Marie Service, Assistant Principal at Fairmont, if you could just come up, I'm just going to read a quick statement, then we have a certificate for you. So the Sustainable New Jersey for Schools program is a voluntary certification program that helps schools improve efficiency, cut waste, and contribute to students' education in the key areas of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, often referred to as STEM education. In December 2020, a slate of digital schools actions was added to the certification program. A digital school star embraces the mindful implementation of effective digital learning and communication tools, resources, and practices. This year, 13 schools were recognized as digital school stars across the states. Fannie M. Hillers joins Hackensack High School, Hackensack Middle School, Jackson Avenue School, Fairmont School, and Fairmont School, who achieved digital school stars recognition in 2021. At this point in time, I would like to ask the board president to join me in the presentation of a certificate to Fannie M. Hillers School representation. Thank you.
Lydia wants to take a picture.
That too. Thank you. I'll send them to you.
Okay, now get pictures.
All right, and do we have our student?
Yes, by any chance, is Angelina Romero here?
All right.
Angelina, come on up. You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
Just go, yeah, you'll sit up here next to Miss Maury.
Hello, thank you all for having me on Hackensack High School's agenda tonight and what we have discussed. On Thursday, November 3rd, the high school invited 8th grade parents and students from Hackensack, Rochelle Park, and South Hackensack to our annual open house. The evening highlighted our academic offerings, extracurricular activities, and sports. Over 300 people attended the event. On Wednesday, November 23rd, the high school will honor our senior fall athletes, cheerleaders, band members, and color guard with our annual pep rally in the main gym. On Thursday, November 24th, the football team will end their season with their annual Thanksgiving game versus Teaneck. The game will be held at Teaneck High School at 10:30 a.m. On December 6th at 7 o'clock in the auditorium, the athletics department will honor our fall athletes with our coffee hour. The high school will host our annual parent-teacher conferences on December 7th and 8th from 6:30 to 8:30. Additionally, the high school will have 12:30 dismissal days on December 7th through 9th. Winter sports are slated to kick off next week, and that's all we have for the agenda today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our superintendent's report.
Thank you, Angelina. Good evening, all. Before I begin my report, please join me in a moment of silence for Dr. Ronell Cook, Superintendent of Inglewood Public Schools, who was fatally injured in a motor vehicle accident this past weekend. I also would like to notify you of the passing of Trustee Anthony Rodriguez's mother-in-law. Please join me in a moment of silence. Their families are in our thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. Thank you. So I hope you're all doing well. During the first week of November, Hackensack Public Schools held two very important, impactful ceremonies for our school community that affirm our commitment to equity in our schools, which included a Pride inclusive flag raising and land acknowledgement at the Board of Education office on back-to-back days. The Pride inclusive flag flies at the board office all year long as a symbol of our support of the members of the LGBTQ+ school community. The land acknowledgement plaque that is beautifully displayed at the main entrance of the board office serves as a constant reminder that our schools lie on the territories of Indigenous people who once had inhabited and cultivated this land. The plaque and land acknowledgement honors those who inhabited the land before us and helps us to build understanding around the history of our land and its Indigenous people. Both events help us to address District Goal number 3, which deals with increasing cultural proficiency, addressing bias, and providing equity for all students that have access of opportunity and voice. We recognize that we still have much work to do in these areas and that the work is an ongoing process. Both ceremonies can be viewed on the district's YouTube channel in the very near future. This past week, we held our parent-teacher conferences at the elementary schools, and by all accounts, they were very productive. The parent-teacher conferences for the rest of the grade spans will take place during the early part of December. Our parents with children at the other grade levels should look out for communication from their respective building principals for more information about their conference schedules. Parent-teacher conferences provide our parents with a great opportunity to learn about their children's academic progress and provide our parents with an opportunity to share information about their strengths and needed areas of growth with their teachers. By partnering in education with our parents, we dramatically maximize our young scholars' outcomes and potential for current and future success. We hope to see all of our parents at these very important conferences. Moving on, progress continues to be made on our numerous construction projects. Solar panels continue to be installed throughout the district. The completion of the elevator project at Jackson Avenue School is just a few days away. And we continue to be excited about the cafeteria and renovations at Hackensack Middle School and Hackensack High School, as well as the high school's field house, fitness center, auditorium renovation, and finally track replacement, which appears on tonight's agenda. All of these projects help address District Goal number 2, which deals with developing state-of-the-art, sustainable, community-based schools that provide all students with a high-quality education, including the necessary resources to support facilities, while taking into account the priority near-term and long-term facility needs. I can't wait to see these improvements completed, as they will greatly enhance our student and staff experience. We look forward to the commencement of these projects, many of which will begin during the spring and summer of 2023. Forging ahead, I would like to thank everyone for their participation at our board meetings. As you know, at our meetings, the board welcomes your public comments. As a reminder, questions about our schools, programs, and district operations are best posed to the appropriate administrator and department heads. The board trustees cannot answer questions with regards to the operations of the school district, as that is not within their purview. Those responsibilities fall upon the shoulders of the administrative team. As always, we ask you to contact the appropriate district administrator with your questions or concerns in order to receive a swift and accurate response. As a general rule, identified problems should be brought to the attention of the person closest to the origin of the problem so that its resolution is attempted at that level. When a resolution cannot be found at that level, remedy should be sought at the next level. With that said, I would like to address some of the comments made at our last meeting. A few of our staff members from the bilingual ESL and world language departments addressed the board with concerns about their department. Please know that I will not comment publicly on the performance of any staff member. With that said, we listened very carefully to their concerns. I, along with other district administrators, met with a few of those staff members that same week and have begun to address any of the concerns that could immediately be remedied and will continue to do so to ensure that our students and teachers have what they need to succeed. We recognize that large class sizes within that department have become an issue due to increased enrollment and are working to address that concern by looking at a couple of different solutions, which include the hiring of additional staff. It should be noted that finding staff members to fill those roles may not be so easy, so we continue to explore all options. Difficulty in filling teacher vacancies is not unique to Hackensack. The ongoing nationwide teacher shortage continues to be an issue for many districts throughout the county and country, excuse me. As such, on November 10th, Governor Murphy signed Executive Order 309 to establish a task force to address teacher shortages in the state. The objectives of the task force include, but are not limited to, developing short-term and long-term recommendations to increase the quantity of teacher applications in the state, exploring innovative ways the state can recruit and retain educators and school staff, identifying best practices and resources to increase the pipeline of teacher candidates, and identifying best practices and resources to ensure retention of school staff members. We look forward to seeing what the task force comes up with. With that said, I'm pleased to report that we continue to fill our vacancies at each board meeting, addressing district goal number 5, which deals with creating a learning environment that supports students' lifelong learning by recruiting, hiring, retaining, and developing a diverse faculty. On tonight's agenda, we are hiring a few new teachers, some of which are from diverse backgrounds, one of which is bilingual certified, and a few leave replacement position teachers as we continue to fulfill those vacant spots. Our substitute teacher situation, while not perfect, is much improved. Our fill rate has improved as many of the in-district substitutes hired by our administrators have finally been cleared to begin. We continue to add substitute teachers to our pool and have recently posted for additional in-district subs to address the vast professional development training taking place at our schools on numerous days throughout the year. It is our hope that once these new subs are onboarded, we will be able to alleviate the sub shortage issues that is amplified during those building-based professional development days, which call for approximately 10 subs at a time on set days, which of course in turn affects subs coverage at the other schools as well. Moving ahead, I'm happy to report that we had a very successful college fair at Hackensack High School on October 26th. Over 90 postgraduate representatives from colleges, university, trade schools, and the military were present to discuss post-secondary options with our students. To address a parental concern regarding the lack of HBCU representation at the college fair, a meeting was held in guidance subsequent to the board meeting. All present at said meeting confirmed that staff and resources are limited at HBCU schools, which makes it difficult for them to attend a high school college fair. The HBCUs do, however, attend regional fairs such as the Malcolm Bernard College Fair that we participated in on November 17th in Newark. To encourage attendance at the Malcolm Bernard College Fair, a few of our HBCU alumni had a table at the college fair to recruit and register more students for the November 17th trip. In addition, Hackensack High School compiled the list of staff and family of staff that have attended HBCUs and asked said staff members to be present at the fair to answer questions about HBCUs for our students. Since the majority of our population is Latinx, Hackensack High School also designated HSIs on the flyer to ensure that students knew in advance of the fair which colleges and universities were Hispanic serving institutions, hence the HSI. Finally, Hackensack High School is working on setting up HBCU virtual college fairs and sessions throughout the year. I would like to thank Principal Montesano, Supervisor of Guidance Talene Hovsepian, Counselor Terry Roshberg, the lead organizer of the college fair, the Guidance Department at Hackensack High School, and our HBCU alumni for their efforts in this endeavor. Finally, our Thanksgiving Day football game versus Teaneck High School is this Thursday at 10:30 a.m. at Teaneck High School. Please come out and support our Comets. Now on to the enrollment report. Our current enrollment is 5,141 students, and a total of 17 HIV investigators were completed this past month. That concludes my report. I wish you all a great rest of the week and a happy Thanksgiving with family and friends. I, for one, continue to be thankful to work at such a great school district. Enjoy the games.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Moving on to our public comments. Please make sure that you signed in. Limit your comments, please, to 3 minutes. Direct your comments to the presiding officer, which to me is, tonight is me. And if there are any responses that are to be made, we will save those to the end from the board.
Mr. President, one comment I'd just like to make, by the way, members of the public, my name is Scott Evelyn. I'm an attorney for the district. At the last meeting, to kind of follow up on what Mr. Sanchez was talking about, there was a lot of personal comments about personal people and personnel and talking about people by name or by their position. While you have a First Amendment right to do that, just also be cautioned that there are civil implications, civil litigation implications, not by the district, but just be cautious of that. I just want to let the members of the public know that.
All right, Ms. West is first up.
Right here? Oh, it's a different spot. Okay. I see that. Yes. Good evening. Okay. All righty. Donna West, Hackensack resident, Hackensack school teacher. Oh my gosh, this is my 28th year. Whew, it's time. And Miss Story, you're still here. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it's that time of year. We're tired. I don't have any other words to describe it, but we're tired. Not tired of doing our jobs, but tired of the increased demands that continually come, it seems, every day. I know for myself, I'm going to talk about a couple of things and try to get it within 3 minutes, but I'll talk about like additional trainings that we've been asked to complete. And I'm never late with these things, never. I usually have them done. I don't have them done. Safe Schools, Wiser. And I don't say that to brag. I say that to say, I don't know how I can get these things done. I don't know how my staff members can get them done. Elementary school got we have a new reading program, Reader's Workshop. I'm loving it, but I go home every night to plan for that. We have a new social studies program. I go home every night to plan for that. So where am I supposed to do these other additional trainings? The staff is asking me to ask Mr. Sanchez and others, can we please have time during the day, during PDs, during staff meetings to get this done? It is becoming a problem where we are increasingly being asked to do this on our own time. It just seems unfair. Weekends, nights. I actually took a nap before I came here. I hope my hair is straight on one side because I had to try to comb it while I was laying down. But I say all that because it's just becoming so much. We are asking that the custodial staff, I know they already do an amazing job, but can we please look at increased cleaning due to the increased COVID, RSV, flu, things like that that are happening. We are concerned about where money is being spent in the sense that we have parents that need busing and parents are paying for Ubers to get their children to school and we really should be able to provide that. I just heard Mr. Sanchez's report that staff is needed desperately, but one of the ways we can do that, because we are consistently seeing resignations, and a lot of these resignations are friends of ours that don't want to leave, but are just tired and fed up and feel like they can go somewhere else for less stress. I'll leave that part there. There are grave concerns about the use of fingerprints and the biometrics. I know that there is a bill currently pending. So we really would like to address that issue. Aside from the swipe machine and that station, why we're now using our fingerprints and biometrics. And I know overall, with the consultants, I'll be quick, the consultants that are coming in the district, I really would like to see us make a more concerted effort to get more consultants that look like the staff. Some consultants of color would be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much and have a great holiday and Thanksgiving.
Good evening. My name is Leroy Montgomery, I live at 252 3rd Street in Hackensack. On September 10th, I had a visitor. His name was Mr. Rodriguez. He came to ask my wife to retract on what she said about the meeting before, a week before. I would like to just move on with this and an apology. Thank you.
Hi, Kasim Gaines, Hackensack. So first, I just wanted to commend the district, commend the board on the land acknowledgement and the flag raising that Mr. Sanchez referenced. I wasn't able to be at the land acknowledgement, but the flag raising was wonderful. There were several of you there. Most of the district admin were there. It was a very nice community event. I do wish that there had been more of a presence from City Hall, quite frankly. I thought that would have been a nice showing. They did send the deputy city manager, I believe. Perhaps if we had held it on Main Street or had a ribbon cutting or something, we might have been able to get someone else here, but that's another story. I did want to raise a question about the item that was tabled at the last meeting about the confidential secretaries. The confidential secretaries where there's a proposed salary increase of $16,000 to $18,000 for 5 individuals to be raised to $82,000. Some of these individuals being people that just started in the district a few months ago. I'm confused by that. I'm wondering if someone could shed some light on that. As a teacher, if you want to make $82,000 in the Hackensack public school system and you have a BA, you have to work in this district for 13 years. If you have a master's, you have to work in this district for 10 years. If you have 2 masters, you have to work in this district for 5 years. The only way that you get $82,000 starting in Hackensack as a teacher is if you have a doctorate. And we don't hire people at the doctorate level at $82,000, probably because it's too much to start someone. So I'm a little bit confused how people that are non-certificated staff members are being, how there's a proposal on the table to raise their salary that much. I think it's a gross inequity to everyone else who is employed by the district. It's devaluing everyone else's salary significantly. I have no problem with the idea that a rising tide raises all boats, but that's like a little lifeboat somewhere floating off talking about 5 staff members and raising those salaries. So I'm hoping that that item, if and when it is brought back up, is rejected. I am hoping that someone can explain that. But if we are concerned about learning loss, we really need to reinvest our energy and our money on those who are on the front lines of the learning, being teachers and paraeducators, people that directly impact our students every single day. Thank you.
Good afternoon to the Hackensack Board of Ed. My name is Yusuf Atta. I was recently informed that Mr. Iacano, a well-respected teacher in Hackensack High School and one of the most qualified accounting teacher probably in Bergen County, was being released at the end of the year. Now, I wouldn't ever go to these lengths to save a teacher because I wouldn't look at a teacher leaving as a big deal. But in the past 4 consecutive years that I've known Mr. Iacano, he has treated me and all other students like best friends. Me and Mr. I share with, Freshman year, I would stop by during lunch when I had no one else or any other teacher that I felt comfortable talking with. And we would talk about stocks, life, and just teaching. And at that moment, I felt like I had a best friend that was me, but older. Mr. I is one of the best, if not the best teachers I've ever had. Mr. I has made a class that I thought would be boring an amazing high school experience. Ever since I met him and got to see him crack jokes and make the class laugh and make doing work enjoyable, I knew I would have a good relationship with him. I've always thought about taking a picture with him at the end of my high school years with my cap and gown, which has been a dream of mine since basically the day I met him. Mr. I also had my older brother who also speaks very highly of him and also doesn't believe the Board of Education would not have Mr. I stay or have a stay in the final months of his teaching at high school. Does someone who has been working here for 20 years plus deserve to get his high school year cut short? Not only will his year be cut short, but now that I don't have a qualified accounting teacher to teach me, what will I do now? I now have a useless class in my schedule when I could have had a different elective. I was planning on applying for accounting to colleges, but now that I've had the risk of losing my accounting teacher, it's not going to look too good on my transcript. Please take into consideration the damages that will be done with Mr. Iacano being released in the middle of the school year. Thank you.
Good evening, members of the Hackensack Board of Ed. My name is Ryan Pardo, and I'm a senior at Hackensack High School. I come here tonight to express my anger and frustration in regards to hearing the news that Mr. Iacono is being forced to leave in December. Granted, I've been told that it is Mr. Iacono's full intention to retire due to personal issues, which he has every right to do. But like any kind of decent person, Mr. Iacono wanted to leave knowing full and well that his students, including myself, would be left with a suitable replacement. However, when he heard that the replacement in Hackensack that was found had not been qualified to teach accounting, Mr. Iacono wanted to stay to finish out the year for the sake of his students so that we would not be left with a substitute in a wasted year. Mr. I has a CPA, which for those who do not know, he is a certified public accountant who wants to work at the school to ensure that a future for myself and my peers is bright in the world of business. Mr. I is more than qualified to educate us in accounting and is more than willing to finish out the year for us. I just find it hard to believe that his retirement withdrawal is being rejected as Hackensack is already having trouble keeping teachers on board. My math teacher quit, leaving me with a sub for the past month, and another one of my teachers has been absent for the majority of the year as well due to contingencies. Mr. I, in all his years of teaching, has accumulated over 300 sick days that he doesn't use due to his care of his students. Mr. I has a unique way of being a teacher, but also a friend. I come to class eager to talk about the stock market and how I did trading that day, and he is always happy to listen. He shares that connection with everyone. I have not heard one bad thing about him in the school, and that I feel is rare. Mr. I and his methods of teaching have inspired me to pursue an education and major in the world of accounting. Which leaves me with this. What does it say about Hackensack High School if universities see that a high school student lost a third of his senior teachers and lacks rudimentary principles in accounting, which I intend to major in when that class is on my transcript? And the answer is right in front of them. With Mr. Sanchez mentioning just now that there is a teacher shortage, I really hope this decision is reversed because I would hate to see Hackensack let go of an accountant in exchange for a substitute. Thank you guys for your time.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Teresa Jordan. I work at Fairmont School, and I'm here to humbly ask for a bus. That's it, a bus every day to pick up the kids that are newly arrived to this country whose parents cannot afford a car and they belong in the bilingual program. We don't have a bilingual program at Fairmont, and the bilingual program is in Parker. The problem is that there's some rule that you cannot get a bus because of the mileage. But think about it, the parents just got here. They don't have a car. They're not going to get a car for a while. They need to work. And they're expecting these parents to walk their children to Parker. It's about a 25-minute walk. It's gonna get cold. It's just not, it's not right. I looked into the buses, it's about 175 to 200 per day. The bus, they used to have a bus 4 years ago, and they just took the bus away. These children, you know, I see them suffering. They're coming into a classroom where they don't understand. All they see is the mouth moving and they hear noise. They go into the classroom. They come with a certain level of math and social studies and science. And because they're thrown into this sink or swim classes, they're able to learn English, but then their other levels of the other classes stay at a stop. So I'm humbly asking that you consider, you know, getting the bus. The parents will have to be there, I guess, at 7:30. The bus will take them to Parker, and then in the afternoon, the bus will pick them up at Parker and return them to Fairmont. There's about 12 of them that belong in the bilingual program. They should not be at Fairmont. The classes, the kindergarten class is packed, and those kids are there, and I see them suffering. I just got a student today from Ukraine. You know, he's like in shock. I'd like to spend more time with him and another student from Albania, two from Albania. But it's difficult. It's difficult for the families. And I think they deserve it. I think that they deserve it. You know, I don't think it's asking for too much. And I thank you. Hopefully I can get the bus. Thank you. Oh, and I just wanted, I'm sorry, just one more thing. I work with one of the best teachers I've seen, and I have worked with Mrs. Delvecchio. She has that one of the students, Maite, and this girl is just, she cries, she doesn't understand Mrs. Delvecchio. Thank God she speaks a little Spanish, so she's able to help her. But she's one of those students that should be going to Parker. Just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Joanna Espinal. I am one of the teachers that spoke in the last meeting in October about the ELL students and the clipping of the wings. I wanted to thank everyone because we did get to meet with Ms. Marks, Mr. Montesano, Ms. Hostepian, and a lot of things started to work in the right direction. We still have a long way to go, but I just wanted to, you know, say thank you for listening. I also wanted to mention that I understand the chain of command that needs to take place. I'm very clear on that, Mr. Sanchez. I also just wanted to make sure that maybe a clarification as to what the protocol is for the chain of command now that we don't have a leader. So that make sure that we know that, especially, you know, K through 12, because we're all suffering that. I also wanted to mention that what Ms. Donna West mentioned, she didn't mention it specifically, but I think it needs to be said about the classrooms. And I think Ms. Jordan, thank you for mentioning the busing. A lot of parents, since I spoke during the last meeting, community members have come to me as I walk my dog Bingo, and they tell me, well, this is going on, please, you know, can you do this? Can you tell them? Can you ask? So I also, you know, don't want to overstep the boundaries. I want to follow the, you know, proper chain of command, but I also want you to make sure that you understand that the issues that were presented last time by the 3 teachers are real, are happening, are being worked on, but we really didn't feel that there was any other alternative but to come and speak to you But we thank you for listening and we will follow the chain of command. Have a great night.
Hello, all right. Good evening. I'm trying, oh yeah, I forgot. Next to do that. That's the other way. Hello. Good evening. I am here in regards to Mr. I's contract not being renewed for the month of December, extending it until June. You see, I am concerned with the fact that I just think that an explanation is in order as to why his contract was not renewed until June, because I think it's kind of ridiculous that these students have to sit here and wonder why they think that they'd have to sit around in a subless classroom for the remainder of the year. I'm concerned for their education. I think that that should really be addressed because it looks like negligence, and I bluntly, and I apologize for that bluntness, but I just think that, you know, clarity is in order. Because Mr. I, and I swear to God that he is one of the hands down best teachers I've seen, not only in this district, but just that I've ever seen. Mr. I is, you see, there's not another teacher in this district that has that kind of competence in his field. He's a certified public accountant, as another student has highlighted for you already. And he's been at this for about 26 years. He's seen his own students grow up, get married, have children, and to have that cut short in the middle of the school year, I just think an explanation would be very much appreciated. Furthermore, I think a couple teachers have already highlighted this, but I think that it should really be addressed where your money is going, as I have a couple teachers who I know are concerned about you know, how the lights are being fixed up, construction going on, the windows being fixed. It's a little counteractive. This is all to say, I hope that those are a couple of things that should be addressed in the near future. And thank you so much. Have a good day.
Did you speak your name for the record?
Carolina. All right, have a good
I
day.
didn't hear that. I didn't hear her name.
Did you write it down? Thank you.
Hello. Hi, my name is Samantha Salto, and I'm a senior in Hackensack High School. And I've come here to regard Mr. Icano, one of the best teachers I've had so far. This is my first year with him, and although I haven't had the experience like other students, I have a great experience with him, and personal experience in the future. I want to be a businesswoman. And I think accounting is a good area for me to be in, and I wanna see myself grow in accounting, and many other students do, as the 71 students have signed a petition for Mr. Icano, if you'd like to see later. But hopefully you would consider, you know, changing. I'm really new to this. I've never done this before, and thank you. Thank you.
Anybody else in the room?
Good evening. I'm Sal Iacono, who my students have come to talk about. So I just want to thank them. I know that there's somebody on the agenda for tonight. At this time, when Mr. Montesano and Ms. Hovsepian approached me about staying, even Ms. Adams, there wasn't anybody, but we know at that point, so they asked me to stay until June. I said that I would be happy to do so. I wouldn't leave my students in the middle of the year. I don't know why that was rejected because they pay tuition for this class, a lot of my students. I didn't want them to lose the college credit because there are some very specific requirements. And at the time, I don't know who's coming in. I was the only person who met those requirements. But that being said, I want to thank the kids because they spoke very eloquently. They know that I love them. I'm sure whoever comes in next will do an amazing job with you guys. I will still be there for you if you need anything, but I did want to make sure that I addressed everybody and addressed the kids because it is amazing to hear that you're making an impact on these young people's lives. So thank you guys very much.
All right, thank you. Anybody else in the room? Is there anybody? Oh.
My name is David Smiley. I'm a senior at Hackensack High School, and I would like to cut down my speech into 3 categories. Firstly, I would like to address how the many decisions that this high school has gone through, the many changes that this high school has gone through throughout the past 3 years has ultimately irritated students and teachers as well in doing efficient and effective work. One of them being the bathroom policy that was implemented back during the pandemic. Well, the pandemic is also over, and former students of the high school from the class of 2019 and below have been astonished that these policies have been implemented into the high school as a result to I guess, do some social distancing and limiting the bathrooms. The policy or the meaning of having a school bathroom is so it can be as convenient as possible to students and teachers when in usage. The fact that there's been only about 5 bathrooms available for students, it ultimately irritates all the students how they have to walk across the school to even use a bathroom. And teachers can utilize the time instead of doing bathroom duty by doing grades, simply doing more work in order to finish it before they have to go back to class. Secondly, I would also like to address how Mr. I, my accounting teacher, apparently they want to stay till June, and they told us that they were gonna leave by the end of December. I've known Mr. I for 2 years, and former students of Mr. I from the class of 2019 who have spoken to me to take this course ultimately changed the aspect of business, in my opinion. If it wasn't for Mr. I wouldn't even know what to do with going to college, honestly. Like, accounting's the major I want to pursue in. I want to learn as much as possible before the school year ends. And I ultimately want to make the future students of Hackensack High School finally feel like they're in an actual normal high school rather than signing in to a bathroom like they're a prisoner, ultimately. And lastly, I would also like to remark how the room change regarding for Mr. Davis, like, it's completely pointless, really. This should have been done during the summer instead of the school year. Like, the point here being is that if changes were to be made, it would be best if they were done during the summer rather than during the school year, as it would be kind of a reliever for both teachers, students, and staff, rather than doing it last minute. I thank you for your time.
Thank you. All right, anybody else in the room? Y'all know I can't hear.
Can you repeat? I'm sorry, I didn't hear. That's a question.
Well, that's up to the board president. If she use, well, we typically, you don't.
Okay, so let's let her finish and then we'll give you one remaining minute.
So good evening. My name is Joy. I have, my goodness, I graduated over 20 years ago. Okay, my son is Parker Smith and he is currently taking Mr. I's course. And I wanted to, just to let you know how great of a teacher Mr. I is. I came here, I mean, I'm a travel nurse now. I didn't know about this until tonight. It takes me an hour to get to work and an hour to get back, and I would not miss this for the world because I'm here to support Mr. I. He's amazing. I just wrote some things down, but I'm just gonna take this off the top. I want to tell you that Mr. I is not only an accountant teacher, he is one that actually cares. I mean, right now you have these the mental illness students who need that support. And I know for me, Mr. I, along with some of my other classmates, he was just there before this mental illness was a big thing. He was there supporting you in any way that you needed. And I just want to say you're doing him a disservice, not allowing him to finish this school year out to help these students do whatever they need. Like you have all these other students telling you how great he is and how their life changed and how they wanted to stay and maybe be an accountant later on because of this man right here. He's very influential and he cares about his students. So why would you do him this disservice and let him go in December? I just don't understand it. And I just really wish that you will reconsider your decision and allowing him to stay and finish out this year because the students need it, parents need it, and he is amazing. So that's all that I have. That's all I can think about. But please, please reconsider your decision for Mr. Iacono, because I think you're making a grave mistake. I really do. But thank you for your time.
Okay, so I'm breaking my own rules, so don't get me in trouble. We got 1 minute.
All right, yes, sir. All right, I just remembered a couple points, that being that it seems you guys like to spring emails and events on, okay, not necessarily you guys, it could just be the high school's admin springing events and such information on people. And when I say people, I mean teachers and students, very last minute. It's hard to find out crucial information such as, I don't know, not absences. Like I mentioned, events, how they'll affect the school day and other such things. That's a little last minute and it's really inconveniencing. You saw it a lot last year. I think that should be addressed. Furthermore, there's a lot of broken links, especially when it comes to the high school, even over here, a lot of broken links. I don't think you should have to go through 8 links and 4 portals just to get the information you need, especially when it comes to, I don't know, scholarships. A lot of the scholarship links are broken. There's a whole page on the school website. It's broken. Furthermore, buses, Rochelle Park's bus system is really broken up. I know some kids who have to wait like an hour outside the main gym just waiting for the bus. And I think that's absolutely ridiculous, especially because some of those kids have work. And lastly, about Mr. Iacono again, I really do, I don't mean to reiterate somebody else's words. However, it truly is just a disservice. I can't find a better word. Mr. Iacono put my sister on the path of a financial field, and I think he did the same for me, and I didn't even know what I was going to do with the rest of my life. So thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right. Is there anybody on what have we got? Line? Okay.
Hello.
All right, go ahead.
Hello, am I on?
Yes, sir.
Yes, how you doing? This is Rodney Lane. I'm a teacher at Hackensack High School. I'm out due to sickness right now. I'll be back in a few days, and I'd like to thank everybody that reached out to me. I'd like to thank you. I've been at Hackensack Public Schools for 26 years. I've been a teacher for 29 years. I'm also a consultant for the NJEA. I have several magazine articles, different assignments that I've been throughout the state. I was very, very disappointed by the words from our superintendent and the attorney. And I felt that they were intimidating to the young ladies that spoke their truths about what has been going on in their classrooms. Throughout the last few years, I don't attend the meetings, but I've attended hundreds of meetings elsewhere. I watch all the stuff. I watch the meetings diligently. There has been many, numerous times people have come up and they have said things about different situations, different conditions. My good buddy Kasim Gaines, who I'm in contact with, I appreciate him and I respect him, has come up and said some things numerous times. But yet we're talking about legal action potentially, an intimidating status for these three brave young ladies that came and spoke. I feel that it was wrong. I feel that it was a form of intimidation. It is anti-First Amendment. It is anti-union. I'm very, very disappointed. I don't speak much publicly, and if I was able to come, I would be there. I'm very disappointed at that. If that is the rule and the law of the land, we need to go back and look at these board meetings and what has been said by numerous people, both on the dais and off. And never was this type of intimidation used. I'm very disappointed. I want to thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Good evening. I believe I'm on. I'm not able to tell. Can I get some kind of confirmation, please? I'm Tom Terzano for Hackensack High School, Health and Safety Chair of the HEA.
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So advocacy comes in many forms and many voices. And I've heard a lot of voices tonight. I'm proud of everybody in the room. Setting obstacles in the way of communicating concerns in the mode of advising folks to pursue bureaucratic channels often causes unnecessary delays in addressing the issues, and in essence tells folks to be patient and wait for answers. I think that presents a frustrating optic for the district and the community at large, and some clarity in the process will go a long way in supporting our community. I think there needs to be some better transparency, more frequent updates on a couple different things. Recently, as Health and Safety Chair, we've taken on some projects, construction projects and other projects in our district. There's just not enough information about those projects. This might be a little bit of a left turn from the concern about advocacy, but it is advocacy in a sense. There should be some kind of information hub that announces upcoming projects, current projects, and completed projects. We just don't have that in place right now. And so we wait month to month for information from the panel. There should also be some effort to look at the effectiveness of our contracts with service providers in districts who use the bidding system to secure their contracts. I know that's part of how the rules operate. The bidding system is a secure system, but there are concerns about the vendors themselves and whether or not they're doing the job that they promised, and if they actually create more problems or continue problems rather than solve problems. Pest control issues are one of the things that comes to mind and that has been discussed in recent months. And then about a year ago, maybe even a little bit longer, I started warning about some of the issues that we collectively face in district, and that these issues are becoming endemic issues. And I know that a year ago, I said that we were used to thinking about things that were pandemic related. And I introduced the idea that endemic means things that are native to our specific place, local to our place. The security of our students, especially our most vulnerable populations, should be of paramount concern. And in the case of the students who are sitting in the meeting tonight, they are in a situation of vulnerability, just as are the students at Fairmount who need busing to Nellie K. Many of the issues that are before the board are not recently developing issues. They spring from endemic conditions that have existed for many years district-wide. So I'm asking that you use your eyes and ears collectively to listen to the concerns of the community at large, allow them the space and freedom to offer creative solutions, and then provide the staff with the resources as immediately as you can and clear avenues and channels to complete the projects to improve the community, rather than telling people to wait, to be patient, to learn about the chain of command, or in the worst cases, let them drift along without a reply, and in which case you have a last minute concern that you send in an email blast. Should not be and cannot be endemic to our community. We need to do better. Thanks so much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody, Tony Jackson, teacher, Nellie K, Hackensack resident. I just wanted to echo my colleague Donna's comments. She so eloquently and accurately stated what a lot of us feel that we're going through. It is utter exhaustion. And I feel like I don't think that folks grasp how close you are to losing so many teachers. And I say that sincerely. I think that one thing for me that stands out is trust and respect, which I think is extremely important. And I think it has to be more than lip service. I think whoever spoke to this, I think a lot of people kind of spoke to it, but there is so much being packed onto our plates, and there is rarely, if anything, being taken off. And I feel like I'm even being given more plates, and then more stuff is being piled on them. With that said, one of the pieces for me is like the issue of autonomy. I said trust and respect. I feel like one thing that may seem really small, and this is something that sticks out to me, is the issue of professionalism. And we don't speak of this like old and unchallenged idea of professionalism that is really like an example of white supremacy culture in the workplace. But controlling things like what is worn and how things are worn, as I'm hearing this from plenty of teachers. For me, I think about jeans and the fact that I'm not able to wear jeans unless I pay for it, but also the fact that like for multiple weeks, I can wear sports teams jerseys and crazy socks and neon colors and different colors and pajamas and comfy clothes and pink clothes and red and even jeans sometimes, right? When there is a specific reason. But I'm teaching the same thing. I am the same teacher, regardless of what I'm wearing. I am no less effective on any of those days. So I really want that to be looked at because as much is being asked of us, so little is being actually examined when it comes to things like that. And I feel like that is a small piece of what I think really needs to be examined when we're talking about things like what is this definition of professionalism that we're actually seeking. But that's something that stood out to me. I also wanted to acknowledge and thank you all for what I think was a really, truly beautiful and impactful ceremony, the land acknowledgement ceremony. Thank you for allowing us to view it and to be a part of it. We had Miss Fountain visit us, who spoke with our students, and they were inspired. They were excited they got to be a part of Hackensack history. So I thank you for that.
That's it. All right. So that closes our public portion, public comments portion. So now we need to approve the minutes from last time. So be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education approves the regular meeting minutes and closed session minutes of October 17th, 2022 as submitted. Can I have a motion, please? Thank you, Mr. Goodman. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Somerville. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? And there are none. So that motion carries, Ms. Singh. So now we'll move to personnel. Ms. Somerville will present that tonight.
Yes, I will. Good evening, everyone. So be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, approves the following personnel actions. So I will go over. We have personnel actions for certified staff. We're doing for non-certified staff, part-time paraprofessionals, staff and trainers. We have retirement, resignation, recensions. We have approved and ratified leave. And last but not least, we have it here for tutorial of teachers. So there is nothing new on the personnel agenda from last month. So we ask that the personnel agenda from A through Q be approved.
Thank you, Ms. Somerville made that motion. Can I have a second?
No, it's A through S. Ms. Somerville, it's A1 through AS.
Oh, yeah, there are three little things at the very bottom.
Oh. Thank you for the correction, Ms. Singh. Approval A1 through AS.
Awesome. So that's, Ms. Somerville made the motion, Mr. Carroll seconded. Can we do a roll call?
Yeah, Mr. Mendez, who is absent, Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodman,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Oates,
Yes.
Mr. Powell is absent, Mr. Rodriguez is absent, Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right, thank you. Moving on to policy.
I'm back again.
Back again?
Be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, approve the first reading of the following policies: policy 0152 and policy 5512. Policy 0512 is the policy for the board officers. For that policy we will be adding a paragraph 4, and basically the paragraph 4 for the policy will outline what are the appropriate steps for approving for board president and vice president. And then there's one clarification edit where the word may is replaced by the word shall. And we do not have any policies that are there for first read. And I'm sorry, is this better? Do you need me to repeat what I just said if it was not heard? Okay, so we are making change to the policy, which is 0152. That is the policy for the election of board officers. We're adding paragraph 4, and paragraph 4 will outline the nomination process that we will be using moving forward in January. We are also just making edit. We had a discussion at the last meeting, and the word may will be replaced with the word shall. The other is the policy 5512, and that is the harassment, intimidation, and bullying policy. That is the second read. We had mandates from the state, and all it is adding additional forms to the policy. There is no change to the structure or the body or the content of that policy.
All right, thank you. So Ms. Somerville made that motion. Is there a second? Mr. Oates, thank you. A roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Mendez, who is absent, Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman,
Yes.
Mr. Goodman,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Oates,
Yes.
Mr. Powell and Mr. Rodriguez is absent, Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. And moving on to curriculum, Ms. Maury.
Good evening, everyone. So for curriculum, we would like to bring to your attention C1 through C17. I would like to highlight the following. For C2, it's the approval of professional development registration fees. C3 is the approval of a new field trip location to Windsor Prep High School. C6 is the approval of a partnership between Nellie K. Parker School and Costco Wholesale Volunteer Reading Program to provide reading support to students for grades 1 through 4 for the school year. C9 through C11 are all approval for special education related services. C12 is the approval of the grant from the Child Assault Prevention Project. It's to provide professional development to preschool staff, to preschool parents, and assemblies for the preschool students. C15 is the approval of an agreement with Conscious Youth Development and Service to provide student workshop assemblies to elementary school students for reducing stress and anxiety, strengthening self-awareness, and activating a growth mindset. And for C16, it's the approval of 2 Hackensack High School students to apply and participate in Regeneron's high school mentorship program. Students will participate in person in Tarrytown, New York, from July through August 31st in person. So, yep, so I bring forward for your to motion C1 through C17.
Thank you. So Ms. Maury made a motion. Can I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Carroll, thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Mr. Bendezu is absent. Mr. Carroll.
Yes.
Mr. Coleman.
Yes.
Mr. Goodman.
Yes.
Ms. Maury.
Yes.
Mr. Oates.
Yes.
Mr. Powell and Mr. Rodriguez is absent. Ms. Somerville.
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, moving on to finance, Mr. Goodman.
Thank you, President Vickery. Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to mention that the Finance Committee met last week. Items D1 through D4 are our typical items related to expenditures. Item D5 is as follows. Whereas the France Law Group, APLC, represents over 800 school districts across the country, and Jewel Labs Incorporated an Altria for their roles in youth vaping epidemic. And whereas the France Law Group, APLC, is handling this case on a contingency fee basis, and as such, there is no cost for Hackensack Public Schools to join this litigation. And whereas the Hackensack Board of Education may receive funding to install vape detectors and security cameras, funding for educational programs on the harms of vaping, and reimbursement of any funds spent related to vaping education and prevention if the Franz Law Group prevails in this litigation. Therefore, be it resolved that the Hackensack Board of Education approves entering into a contract with France Law Group, APLC, to provide legal services in connection with pursuing claims for damages associated with Juul and electronic e-cigarette litigation at no cost to the district. I just wanted to mention that unless we receive money from this suit, we don't pay anything. So I just wanted to make sure that that was really clear. Item D6 is basically, we've already paid up. This is basically related to the drop-in centers. And we've already paid these funds a total of $362,000 through June of 2023. Item D7 is related to a lawsuit. And we are going to, the resolution is to hire an insurance archaeology group to investigate the historic liability insurance coverage of the school district from between 1978 and 1980. And the other 2 items are here, and they don't need special mention. So I bring forth to you items D1 through D9.
Mr. Goodman, can I just make one clarification?
Sure.
On D6, where you say we've already paid the amount we've already received.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we understand that's for the drop-in centers. We received that grant. This is just kind of memorializing that we received those funds.
Correct.
And it's D10.
All right, so he made that, say it again.
Please repeat it. It's finance and budget resolutions D1 to D10
D10.
we're voting on.
So Mr. Goodman made that motion. Can I have a second? Mr. Oates, thank you. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bendezo is absent. Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, Mr. Goodman,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Oates,
Yes.
Mr. Powell, and Mr. Rodriguez is absent. Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you. And moving on to buildings and grounds.
Good evening, everyone. For buildings and grounds, we have E1 through E5. A couple quick notes. E2 is just a change order for the electrical supply to the elevator at Fairmount School. And also another quick note, E5 is for contract for DMR Architecture for replacing the track at the high school. So I offer up E1 through E5.
Thank you. Is there a second? Mr. Carroll, thank you. A roll call, please.
Mr. Bendezo is absent. Mr. Carroll,
Yes.
Mr. Coleman, Mr. Goodman,
Yes.
Ms. Maury,
Yes.
Mr. Oates,
Yes.
Mr. Powell, and Mr. Rodriguez is absent. Ms. Somerville,
Yes.
Mr. James Vickery.
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. And moving on to community relations.
Community relations, we did not meet this month. Our next meeting is November 30th. Couple quick things. We are going to be putting a drop-down link on the board website for the committee members. Instead of posting email addresses, we're going to do a Google form. So if you want to get in touch with a community relations member or have a comment, suggestion, or anything, you can use the Google form on that drop-down as another means of contacting the committee. And nothing to move forward, and that's it. November 30th. I'll have a lot more next month.
Awesome, thanks. On to old business. Is there any old business that anyone needs to address? Great. Any new business? All right, real talkative. Okay, moving on to board comments. I'm gonna start with you this week, this time.
Wow.
Ira.
Well, thank you very much. To those of you still here, I'm glad to see all of you. I wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. I did want to make a couple of comments. I first would like us to take a moment of silence for what happened in Colorado Springs at Club Q. This community is constantly barraged. It doesn't seem like it's going to end. So I just was hoping we could take a moment of silence for those lost and traumatized in Colorado Springs. Thank you. I also wanted to mention that I love when our students give their reports. Angelina Romero was great. I unfortunately could not make the celebration of raising the Pride Inclusion flag, nor the land acknowledgement ceremonies. So I was upset about that, but it's very important that Hackensack School District is one that acknowledges things that are really important. And I personally, as a member of the community, really enjoy passing the Paravanos Center and seeing that flag up. And it's not just during the month of June. And other than that, I just really wanted to wish everyone a really happy Thanksgiving and celebrate with those you love and make it what it's really all about in terms of being thankful for everything you have. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Carroll.
Yes. Thank you, Angelina, for the student report, of course, and I want to commend all the students. They're all gone now. I guess they have homework to do or whatever. For standing up here is not easy, speaking in public like that. I just want to say thank you for that. Glad to see there was more involvement with the HBCU schools. Glad to see we got in contact with them and had our students go to their presentations. And that's about it for me. Just have a happy and safe Thanksgiving. And that's about it. Oh, and I want to say thank you to the community, the parents, the residents for voting, going out and voting and supporting the Common Connection. I really appreciate you all, and I look forward to continuing to improve the district. I said, thank you.
Mr. Carroll, Mr. Oates. Good evening, everyone. Couple quick shout outs. But first, I want to echo my fellow trustees. Takes a lot of guts for a student to come up here and speak on the microphone. Also, Mr. I in the background, thank you so much. You truly did inspire your students. And that's the mark of a great teacher, to inspire a life of learning. And you could see it in their faces. You could see it in the petition that they put out there. Thank you so much for your service. Really, really, job well done. I wasn't able to make the flag raising, but I was there for the land acknowledgement, and I believe it was an awesome day in the community, beautiful weather. I believe we're the first district in the state to do so. I think that's what was said. So I want to thank the board, Mr. Sanchez, everybody for putting that together. It really was a special day. Shout outs real quick. It's a fellow trustee's birthday. I wasn't going to say anything, but it is Mr. Carroll's birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
That's it now. No, we don't got to do it. We'll save.
Yeah,
Okay. Real quick, Coach Reimer, volleyball middle school. I want to thank him and Coach Daniela for an excellent 7th and 8th grade season. It wrapped up a few weeks ago, and the volleyball at the middle school really made a difference in these girls' lives. It really was something special. They had a lot of fun. And these girls on this team before last year, volleyball wasn't even on their radar. They knew nothing about volleyball, not a clue about what volleyball was. And it wasn't until an interest meeting at the middle school last year. Now, all of a sudden, we have a handful of girls that are going to be really special for the years to come. And they're going to cultivate their talent. And now they love it. They love being together. It really was something special. But Coach Reimer's a big reason for that. And Coach Daniel, I want to give them a shout out. Also, going down the sports path, Coach Hooper at the high school, softball high school, set up training clinics with Mark Hauser at the high school and his wife Tara at their pitching factory in Fairfield. Again, these girls on the softball team, they love it. They love being a part of it. It's excellent. It's been going on for the past few weeks. That's coming to a close before they start winter training. But the girl sports in this town for years, rec side, sports side, or high school side, it just seems like it's always kind of an afterthought. And it's awesome to see girl sports really thriving and doing well. We have to support them. We have to put them in a position to succeed. You walk into that gym, there's banners hanging up for championships. There's not a lot of female sport banners for anything related to a state championship. I think swimming a couple of years ago, maybe been the closest thing to a state championship, but we really have to emphasize their involvement and really put it out there for something for them to do, and so they can learn and grow and foster their talent. With that, another coach shout out, Jimmy LaRose at the middle school, who's won the 2022 NFL Flag in Schools Coach of the Year through Gen Youth. Really big deal. They announced it on the online there, the Gen Youth Flags in the Schools. So he was the grand prize winner. Shout out to Coach Jimmy LaRose. Excellent job. Another shout out, he left Mr. Gaines though, the other night, Thursday, Friday, the high school put on the Brothers Grimm Spectaculathon. It was their fall production. It was an awesome time. Shout out to him, doing a great job. I believe he was the executive or the producer, along with Rose Frontignano was the director, and Anthony Ziza, Kendall Salter, and Renata Ramirez, I believe, was also involved in the stage and the lights and everything. But it was a quick fall production, but it really was a lot of fun and it was a great time. I believe yesterday or today, they're having auditions for Chicago, which is going to be their big spring performance, but we're looking forward to that. We have a special place here. I think we all know it.
5,141 students. Our job is to put them in a position to succeed. That's what the board is here for. That's what we have to do. I'm thankful in this holiday season, Thanksgiving on Thursday, thankful to be a part of something special, thankful to be a part of this board, thankful for every one of our faculty members and staff. Like Mr. Jackson said before, it seems like we're constantly putting things on their plate and nothing comes off, but they have to know that we truly do appreciate them and they truly are making memories for these kids and they're inspiring. And it's our job to make sure that these teachers don't get burnt out and we do what we can to support them because they are affecting the changes that we want. With that, TNEC, Thursday morning, 10:30 a.m. Let's bring it. Go Comets.
All right, thank you. Mr. Coleman.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, happy birthday to Trustee Carroll. Thank you. My condolences to the Rodriguez family for the loss of their family matriarch, and my condolences to the superintendent at Inglewood. I was very, very impressed by the students that spoke tonight. They were eloquent, they were passionate, and Mr. I, you will be very sorely missed whenever your exit does come. It's not very often that a child experiences a teacher that brings out that kind of passion, and you're gonna be remembered by a great deal of students for the rest of their lives. It reminds me of, teachers that I've had in my past that I'll never forget that actually made a very big difference in my life. I'll never forget the lost opportunity that I had to not take a teacher that everyone to this day still talks about, that one teacher in their high school that changed their life. I didn't get to take a class with that teacher. I'll always regret it. But again, I was very impressed with your students, and I greatly commend you and thank you for everything that you've done for our school district and for our students. As far as any comments that are made in the public space, obviously, because it is a public space, words should be measured, but nobody should ever feel intimidated by anything that's said in a public space. And I hope that no one takes that away as their impression of anything that was said was meant to stifle or muzzle anyone. This is a place where the public comes to hold this board and this district accountable, and everyone is welcome to come and speak their minds. And I hope no one feels any differently going forward about that. Ms. Story, thank you again for the candy. And I hope everyone has a very blessed Thanksgiving. Thank you.
Ms. Somerville.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for sticking with us and being here this late. We'll try to wrap this up as quickly as possible. To the student report, thank you very much. Always informational, definitely appreciate it. I'll second what Trustee Coleman said to the many members on our board that's experiencing loss this month of family members. We feel for you. We are here for you. And again, we express our sincere condolences on that. For the many members that came forward and had comments to say this evening, there is a lot of you. So for time efficiency, can't go through every one of them, but just want you guys to know, again, I will second what Mr. Coleman said. Our job is to be here for you guys, right? That's the only reason we're sitting here, for nothing else. So we fully appreciate any commentary, any information, any knowledge that you guys can pass along to us so we can help move the district forward and make sure that, we have improvements that are always in the best interest of our students and our residents. So I am hoping that no one ever feels like you cannot come before the board with any conversation, any items, anything that is actionable, and think that we by any means necessary think that it is a hindrance or a nuisance for you guys to come here and give your opinion. That is never anyone that sits here, that this is not what we're here for. That is nobody else's, opinion that you guys are problematic. So again, I am hopeful that everybody feels this is an open space and that you can come here and just be who you are and say what's needed. Mr. I don't know you personally, but there is a quote that says, right, if you want to put somebody on a pedestal, put a teacher. And it seems that your students here really think that you deserve to be sitting on a pedestal for what you have done for them. So again, I'm not knowing you personally. I can just say on behalf of all the kids that came here to preach on your behalf, I guess it's a disappointment that you are leaving, according to them. I'm hoping that it's, something that makes your heart happy for what you are going to be doing and that you will have, joy in it. Hackensack seems like we will be losing somebody that's very effective in doing their job. But again, hopefully, again, it's something positive. If it is, congratulations. And your students have been well served by you. So thank you for everything. For the Hackensack game this Thursday coming up, be out there. Hopefully it's good weather. It's not cold or raining on Thanksgiving. Haven't asked Alexa yet, but that's on the list of things to do when I get home. And again, just want to say to everybody out there, please be safe, be kind. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your time with friends and family, and we will see you guys back here in December.
Thank you, Ms. Maury.
All right, good evening, everyone. I wanted to thank our student report, Angelina Romero, for her thorough report. Congratulations to the junior football team. I believe they're the middle school team that made it to the finals this weekend. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to participate, but do we know how they did? They won.
Yep.
Awesome. All right. I didn't
Yep.
hear anything. I was looking to see if they won or anything. And good luck to our student athletes for their Thanksgiving game. I hope Hackensack wins because that's how it needs to be. Wanted to thank Mr. Sanchez for your detailed report and for following up with the public comments and the concerns. I also wanted to thank Mr. Sanchez also for inviting the board to the land acknowledgement ceremony. It was a beautiful ceremony. It was definitely a historical moment. It was nice meeting Chief Perry and Clan Mother Debbie. If anyone gets the opportunity to go see at night the plaque, it looks beautiful, the way it lights up and the words that are on there as well. I want to thank the students and parents for coming out and advocating and spending time with us here late at night. Mr. You were one of my accounting teachers, and honestly, everything that the students have said, I can attest to. You are one of those teachers that are unforgettable and impactful. I can say that you were the one who taught me how to do my taxes, and I will never forget how to do my taxes. And you were the reason why I wanted to go into accounting. And unfortunately, I didn't follow through because I realized it wasn't for me. But you made it so easy that anyone felt that they could do it. That's how great of an impact you have made on not only me, but as well as all the students that spoke up for you. So I want to thank you so much for your time here at the high school. Believe that is it. I hope everyone has a happy, healthy, and safe Thanksgiving. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Right, thanks. I will be quick, I promise. So I'm going to start with the play this week was fantastic. Or I guess Thursday and Friday, Mr. Gaines and all of his colleagues and the students that worked on it. So basically it was the fairy tales. 209 of them were referenced and dealt with in an hour and 15 minutes. It's the real version, so it was a bit dark, which is like my favorite way to hear them. But it was fantastic. Mr. Jackson, Ms. West, I want you to know at least that I hear what you're saying, that your plates, I love the analogy of the plates, although I go straight to the Thanksgiving plate. I'm going to assume that we're not talking Thanksgiving style plate, that a regular size plate is full, and that nothing comes off. And I just want you to know that I hear that statement. And I also want you to know that when we made our anti-racism resolution and how our money would also go to make sure that that it's impacting our hiring and all those pieces, Mr. Sanchez, I do want us to think about and look at, just like with our hiring practices of our staff, that as we look at our consultants, if you would just kind of make sure that the district is keeping an eye on that as when we're looking at consultants, because we do want that in every piece, make sure that our diversity and equity is in all pieces of our district. So if you'll just keep an eye on that. The land acknowledgement and the flag raising were two of the most exciting things that we have done in this district. Not only historical, but just really well done in the sense of like the land acknowledgement piece there. Not only while we were doing the formal piece at the board office, it was being, I don't know the right terminology, but simulcast, whatever you call that, to certain schools, but also there were people from our tribal people that were there teaching as well. So lots was happening all at once. And so it was a really impactful day that was planned. I do know that we just, in last month, we hired a project manager, correct?
Construction.
Construction, what?
Yes, construction, construction manager.
So what I heard in Mr. Tuzano's piece is this like information hub. I think that is an interesting idea. I'm just going to say that, of where people can get information on the projects that are going on, because I think that there are lots of people who do wonder. You can do with that with what you will. Then I do want to acknowledge the cross country of the junior high or middle school started last year. And they again had a great little season this year, and they had their kind of culmination event, and they ran their race. And then we had, for some reason, it's always the first coldest day of the year, both years in a row. But they run their event and have their award ceremony afterwards. And it's been really impactful. So I'm really thankful for that. And I will say,
by the way, we're looking at October next year, early October.
Oh, good. That's good. And then I will say thank you to the middle school staff and administrators who had an election that was held on Friday. They got to use the voting machines. And so it was pretty real to the kids anyway, election, and it was very impactful for them. And so we are thankful that they got to have that experience, and that our administrative team is so enthusiastic with the kids to be able to do that. And then just a point of clarification for the people, the students. I am thankful for the students that did come to speak tonight. Has he been on the agenda?
Yes, actually, he's here, but he retired actually in the September meeting. That's when the board accepted his retirement. And but there's no question that he's well received by our students. We know he's had an amazing career. At the end of the day, the board did take a final action. And once the final action is taken, other things go in play, inclusive of, a person that we hired tonight to replace him. So we really wish him well. I wish things would have been different because, obviously he's beloved by his students, for many years, obviously. So we thank you for your service, for real.
And then a reminder of the game. Yeah, a reminder of the game on Thursday, and happy birthday to you. And we will think about Mr. Rodriguez and losing his mother-in-law and as they work to put together services and all that that will happen later in the week. So may I have a motion to adjourn? Chris, slow down. And may I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Carroll, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, you better not. All right.